What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hodge-Podge Garage. Emily and I went gigging and we got some monster flatties. So if you haven't seen one of these before, this is a flounder. Got some nice sharp teeth, white on the bottom. And I'm going to show you today how I fillet them. So first thing that I like to do is just give them a quick rinse. And if you use the back side of your knife and just scrape down, takes that slime off. It'll make it a lot easier to fillet it when you are trying to hold it onto the cutting board if it's not all slimy. They get like that once they've been sitting in the cooler for a little while. Alright, cool. So we're just going to set this guy down and now we'll get started. I don't know if you could tell, and it happens to us all the time. You get them out, and then all of a sudden they shrink. Actually, it's a different one. My lovely assistant back there screwed up the camera work. So we're going to take two on this. Take two. All right.
So many buttons.
So many buttons. So we've got the backbone obviously coming down from up here, going down. And what I do is just take the knife, poke it straight in until it stops. And then you're just going to slice right down the backbone all the way to the tail. And this part helps if you have a sharp knife. Once you do that, if you run your finger down the middle, then you can feel what side of the backbone you're on. And that'll come into play here in just a moment, because now that I've got that slice, I can start working down the ribs, and then I can make sure that I'm on the top side of here, this top of the flounder. Make sure I'm on the top side of that backbone, and then go down to the ribs, and then turn the blade sideways and follow those ribs up to the fins. So I can now get the blade in there, and just a little sawing motion, or not sawing if you have a really sharp blade, until you get the tail out. So as soon as you get that tail flipped out there, then you can really get the knife blade in and work along those ribs. And once you get up to the top, you poke the blade out through the skin and make sure that you're on the top side of these fins. If you happen to be underneath them or coming out in between them, then you're going to have bones in your fillet. So you just want to make sure that the blade is on top of it. And then you just saw right through. So now you can see here, we've got the backbone down the middle, so that first cut was right down the backbone, and then a couple flicks on that side of the backbone just opened that up so I could get my finger in there, and then I can use that blade to just slice right along those to come out. And then at the top, some people, when they, there's lots of videos out there and different ways to fillet flounder, but a lot of people will just do a slice behind this pectoral fin and just go right down the side, because right up here there's just a little pouch here that has all of the guts in it, and then the rest is all meat. So instead of just doing that and potentially wasting a little bit, I just take the knife and I follow right behind the gill. There's that bone, and you can follow that up to the top and save a little bit of that and get a little angle cut in there. And then just make sure you stay on top of the ribs there as you're getting the fillet out, and it comes out just like that. So I'll set this aside for just a second and we'll go into skinning it. So we've got the fillet here, skin side down, and what I like to do is start with the blade and come backwards a little bit, and then rotate the blade over. Sorry, it comes backwards a little bit, rotate the blade over, and start going forward. And if you do that, then you have this little tiny lump right there you can get your fingers on to hold it. And that's a really nice way to be able to hold that skin as you're taking that off. As you work your blade up, keep your left hand, if you're right-handed, keep your left hand to as close to the back of the blade as possible. So do a couple cuts and walk your fingers forward, and just keep walking your fingers forward. And as you do that, it'll keep that skin from sliding all over. And now you can see you've got a nice fillet, and all that's left is the skin there. for the junk pile. So we'll toss that one over there and move on to the next cut. So we got the flounder here. Obviously they sit on the ground like that. Both their eyes are on this side, and the mouth is, the bottom of the jaw is down here, and that's where the guts are, is down on that side. So we'll turn it around this time, and now we'll just start off coming in almost at a 90-degree angle to just start opening up the meat away from the ribs. And when you get enough in there that you can get the blade in sideways, then you can start working that down. What I like to do is always keep my handle on the side of the tail, because these ribs are angled a little bit back towards the tail. So if you keep your handle on that side, as you come down, you're going to be going perpendicular to those ribs rather than possibly getting in parallel. And if you get parallel to those ribs, then you can get in between them, and that's where you'll get bones in your fillets. So we'll just slide that down again on this side. Once you get to the fins, just make sure that your blade is on the right side of them. Cut down to the bottom, and out it comes. Like I said earlier, you've got that one way of doing it is just do that straight cut here that a lot of people do. I think that wastes a little bit of meat if you're filleting it. So what I do is, from the top where the backbone is, I'll just start opening it up away from the ribs on the inside. And right behind this pectoral fin, there's a couple little pin bones there too. So if you just stay on top of those as you take this down to the fins, then you can actually see where one of these ribs will open up. I don't know if you can see that red spot right there. That's part of the guts. So you don't want to go any closer to the head than that. And then you got another fillet. So after you do that side, we'll flip it over. Here's his guts, by the way. We got these gigging, so we stab them with gigs rather than on a pole. So this one, that looks like an Emily job.
No, that's a 3-prong U job. 1, 2, 3.
No, that's an Emily job. On this side, you can see there's a lighter line going right here. That's actually the line of the backbone. So you can start up there and follow that line. Doesn't matter if you get off a little bit. And as you bring it down, you just basically do the exact same thing that you did on the front side. So these are awesome fish. They are the best fish in the bay, in our opinion. Our favorite fish to eat down here, and fresh as far as Galveston fishing goes. And yeah, definitely, if you haven't had it, give it a try. Don't go to the store though. Go get your own out of the water, because that's the way to do it. And it just makes it taste that much better. So we'll just continue going down here. Got another fillet out. Toss that to the side. Now we can do the top one just like the others. It's pretty easy. Once you get the hang of it, it goes a lot quicker. So you can get through these, and I can get through a whole flounder in, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes or so. I might be able to do it quicker if I was racing, but I don't mind too much about the time it takes. It's all part of the process. Some people are faster, or what have you. Anyways, now that we've got that out, you've got just your ribs here, and basically you've got that really teeny tiny membrane right in between. That's all the meat that is that you're not getting. You'll also notice when you take these fillets out, there's little muscles that go to every one of these fins, and they're on the ends here. So you'll have your main fillet, and then you'll have these little fingers that come off of it. So let's see if I can get a good example of that. I'll take this one. Work it through. And now you can see there's these little fingers here. Those are the individual muscles that are going to the fins. You can totally eat that, still good. We'll just throw that in the bucket. So, right on guys, I know this isn't working on the car or whatever, but I like to hunt and fish, so I figured I'd share how I fillet a flounder. Rock on, don't forget, make cool shit. Do you want to do any and splicing? You doing some or?
So
Was that horrible?
so that was a great practice run.
I'm too tired for this.
And now this next time I'm gonna push the record button.
Are you serious? Hey look, it's a bag lady.